Hello everybody. Project today is a tin cover, or what we might think of as a pot lid. Just selecting a piece, and I'll be using this template. The dimensions on this template are given in Brummels as 20 inches long with a 36-inch radius. And for making larger covers, you can simply move it along like I do here, or cut out multiple pieces and solder them together. I really like these tin covers because they replace plastic. So I make them for glass jars. In this case, a friend of mine has a large stainless steel dispenser, and it does not have a lid. He makes various beverages, iced tea or lemonade, to bring to events that he caters as a barbecue chef. And he's always forever just covering these with a piece of tin foil. He let me borrow one for an event at which I was serving apple cider, and I decided I would give it back to him with a nicer cover. Although, because I was straining the cider into it, not having a lid worked pretty well for me. One thing you'll notice is I'm using my right hand with the shears. If you're a southpaw like me, and you want to get into tinsmithing, just use the shears in your right hand. Very soon it will be easy to do, and you can't, like that little notch right there is very difficult to make with a standard pair of shears in your left hand. All of the marks are obscured by the blade coming down, and the material exits on the wrong side of the shear, so your hand is in the way. It's just much easier to just use them in your right hand. So just soldered that joint closed. In this case, I used a 8515 solder with no lead, just tin, just a tin alloy, 85% tin, and then I'm not sure what the 15% is. I can't recall right now, but it's lead free. Because this will be used to hold beverages, we don't want any lead in there. It's really not that much harder to solder with the lead free. It doesn't flow as easily, and it doesn't leave quite as shiny a finish. Sometimes you get a little crummy finish, but it's not worth putting lead in a food container. So there we have the burr. If you notice when I do these burrs, and when I do the cover, you'll be able to see it as well. The whole key to burring on one of these burring engines like this is getting the tin set at a very slight angle the entire way around the piece, and then just adjust the angle slightly and let it get everything at the new angle, and then adjust it again, raise it slightly. If you try to pick your piece up too quickly, you get a potato chip. Love this circle cutter. Now this is by far the longest process here in making the lid. Probably took me 20 minutes or so to raise this lid. I just have the old beech block there with a rough out that I made in it. You could use kind of any stump, any depression. You're not really forming it to the depression. It doesn't work like that. You kind of go around the entire diameter, and almost like the burr, you're just bending it a little bit, and just keep going around in what they call courses, concentric rings that go into the center. So it's not, I'm not pressing it down into this dish that's carved into the wood. So it really can be any size. And then once I get it sunk, I'll go to a stake and raise it now. So this is the raising. Because this is a utility cover, I'm sure it's going to get things dropped on it, banged up, knocked around, thrown in and out of the truck. So I'm not going to planish this. But this hardwood stick, what I found is that it does a fairly good job of planishing, and I actually really like the surface. A lot of my stuff is made to be seen by candlelight or flickering light, and so I love the little subtle undulations. But you can see there, it planishes it up pretty nicely. So I just want to make sure it sits flat before I go to the next stage. I'm not sure that it matters, but in this next stage we're going to be turning that metal completely around from where it is. We're going to flip it right over. And that certainly causes enough stress that I like to make sure the piece is flat first. So here, this machine is for setting the groove for a wire in a container. So you normally would go around sort of the top edge of a bucket, and this would give you the groove for the wire to sit in. I'm using it here to delineate the flat section of the cover from the domed section. And I'm just going around flattening that lip. And now we're going to burr that up. So here you can see very subtly changing the angle and making sure that the new angle is goes completely around the lid before we change the angle. Now if you get this right, the cover should snap into place. I'm getting better at this. One thing that I do is I'll very, very lightly burr the cover and then set the inner ring on it to look at, if I need to make some adjustments, and that seems to have helped. Here you can hear a nice pop and it settles right into place. I think I find the one section that isn't quite in. As soon as it snaps, it's held pretty snugly. You wouldn't want to use it like that, but it should hold it, so it should snap in place and hold itself in place. So here I just take the stick and I go around and I just lightly hammer that edge up. Again, if you get it right, the burrs, there's a little bead at the base of the burr on the cover, and the burr on the band will sit right into that bead. That's the snap that you hear, and it really makes a nice clean edge. If you get it wrong, you just have some flat spots in your edge. It's not the end of the world, but this is by far one of the nicer ones that I've had come together. Just trimming up a piece for the handle on the little loop on the lid. And I'll hem both sides of this loop just to give it a little more stiffness, and also to protect the fingers from that single thickness edge of tin. Whenever you go to bend a ring like this, you want to make a J, and then a C, and then an O. JCL. That's the way to go. And now we just solder that in place with the same solder. I could probably use, you know, garage sale solder up here because it's on top. But there it is. Goes down with a nice, satisfying feeling of the air. It comes up with a nice pop. Well, there it is. I hope this helps you make a cover. Thanks for watching.